Remember to subscribe and hit the bell notification. That work?
Trying to manage something supernatural with natural strength, and that's not weakness. That's the very purpose of what you are. Only someone can feel the weight of more pressing against the walls of ordinary life. This sensation, this pressure, is the echo of your true blueprint, a divine architecture that yearns to expand beyond the confines of the mundane. It's the subtle tremor of a dormant volcano feeling the heat of its core, knowing it's destined for a magnificent eruption. Think about this. When God formed you, something was deposited that doesn't have a name in the language of men. It's a celestial imprint, a divine signature etched into the very fiber of your being. It's the thing that makes you weep over strangers, a profound empathy that transcends earthly boundaries, connecting you to the collective heart of humanity. It's the thing that makes you feel the atmosphere shift when you walk into it. An intuitive radar attuned to the energetic compass of existence. It's the thing that keeps you awake at night, not with anxiety, but with knowing. A deep, unshakable knowing that there is something you came here to do, and you haven't done it yet. This isn't the gnawing worry of an unfinished task, the permanent hum of destiny resonating within your soul. That's not restlessness, that's divine urgency, the soul's insistent whisper reminding you of its sacred contract, and the enemy has spent years trying to convince you it's a disorder, a glitch in your human operating system, when in reality it is your most sacred operating instruction. But here's where it goes deeper. The war that has been waged against you has never been random. Spiritual warfare is always targeted. It's like a sniper's scope precisely aimed at a strategic point on the battlefield. You don't send heavy forces after someone who poses no threat. The intensity of your battle is a direct reflection of the magnitude of your assignment. Think of it as the friction generated by a powerful engine. The greater the power, the greater the resistance it encounters. When the enemy looks at you, he doesn't see what you see in the mirror. The tired eyes, the perceived imperfections, the everyday struggles. He sees what you were before you were wrapped in skin, the primordial spark of creation, the divine essence that predates physical form, and that ancient, unassailable truth within you.
There are 3 kinds of methylene blue that you can take, and a lot of
day.